What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Geektastic duo. Gilbert Deltrez here, the self-published professional, alongside
Geek Hero Ronald Christian here, creator of the world's greatest and truest superhero, Paragon Prime, coming soon to Indiegogo.
Awesome. So right now, the topic is Lock and Key. If you guys didn't know, Lock and Key is on Netflix. I kind of heard it was coming to Netflix. I didn't like. For me, I was just like, I was on Netflix and I just saw a Lock and Key trailer, and I'm like, what the? I'm like, it's out already. And Ron, I don't know if you even knew about Lock and Key.
No. I vaguely remember hearing about the graphic novel last year or something like that. I was like, oh, this Lock and Key thing, whatever. I didn't even, bleep on my radar, like whatever.
Oh my God. All right, so just, got to preface this video real quick just to say that Lock and Key is created by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. Joe Hill, if you didn't know, he's the son of Stephen King. Mm-hmm. He didn't attach King to his name when he wanted to break into writing, and he went as Joe Hill. And Heart-Shaped Box, America, was it 20th Century Ghost? So those are really great stories I've read. And another one that I like of Joe Hill is Horns, that I read. And
are those novels or graphic novels?
Those are novels. And he has some other graphic novels. But Lock and Key for me is by far the top for me.
Okay.
Yeah, just because like the whole concept, it's within familiar territory, but it really brings a freshness to the, was it ghost, haunted house, supernatural genre. And even in the graphic novel, it's kind of like a Harry Potter kind of feel. Although the graphic novel is very dark. And me and Ron were talking about, how I read the graphic novels. And Ron, like I said, he wasn't a blip on his radar. So we're going to bring two very different perspectives.
Yeah.
To Lock and Key.
I actually went ahead and saw the whole thing.
So we were gonna say if you're in or out with Lock and Key.
Yeah,
it's obvious he's in. Ron was in.
It was compelling enough for me to just binge it like in 2 days. So,
well, where he binged it in 2 days. I binged the graphic novel again because I own the trades. And then once I saw the graphic novel out. Once I saw the Netflix show out, I'm like, okay, I gotta get back into familiarity. I gotta get back into the story and plunge in and see, what I've been missing. And let me just tell you, they're really going places with the graphic novel. And for the first episode, what did you think, Ron, as far as getting did you preview the trailer first, or did you just kind of jump in?
No, I didn't even watch the trailer. I just went to the episode with I'd never seen the trailer before. I just went into it.
All right, so what made you jump into it? Because again, this wasn't a blip on your radar. So what made you kind of just jump right into Lock and Key? There had to be something there. What did you see? Was it the little promo image? Was it a little synopsis?
Oh, it was you. You said that Lock and Key is on Netflix based on a graphic novel. I was like, okay. So I watched the first episode and I'm like, this is pretty good. I kind of dig this.
I forgot I said something around.
Yeah, you said something about it. And I watched it and I was like, you know what? I like the feel of this. I like the vibe. I like the everything. So yeah, I was into it. I never having read the graphic novel, I kind of came in with fresh eyes, with no preconceived, opinions on any of it, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, since I don't have the graphic novel to compare it to me, it's just what it is, as opposed to something else where I read the comic and watched, stuff like that. So it's different than if watch an MCU movie or a superhero movie, you read the comic book of that, then it's different. But this is just I came in fresh, and I dug it. I thought it was pretty cool. I remember watching the show and thinking about what I would do if I had these keys, like what I would do, like especially the head key. Oh my gosh, I would so take advantage of the head key. It's not even funny.
All right, so that's interesting because the first episode don't talk about the head key.
Okay.
But no, I'm not saying not to talk about it. I'm just saying like it comes into play into the second episode. And what's interesting enough with the graphic novels, we don't see the head key until the second trade of the volume. So it's like kind of a few issues in before we even get to the head key. So for me, I'm seeing how they're kind of shifting things around. I know in the second episode we already, have the head key. They're floating around with the head key, and I like, again, before we get into that, I just want to say real quick that as someone who read the graphic novels, I thought the casting was really well done. And I know, a lot of times you see, the book or the comic book, and then there's always, people are up in arms over the casting, or there's something that doesn't fit, or it's just like, from what I've seen already in the first episode, I'm digging the casting choices. The acting for me, I thought was exceptional. And there were some moments of tension within the first episode. And really, they had an uneasy scene with the mirror, and like, right when the mom goes in and just like, I got chills. So the thing I like about Lock and Key is that it's kind of like a supernatural horror, but with this kind of teensy, like Harry Potter feel. So although the graphic novel was very dark, but then they did have their lighter moments as well.
Yeah, you showed me some pages and stuff, and I realized that the show is apparently way toned down than the graphic novel is. They toned things down quite a bit for the show, which actually surprised me because Netflix is not shy about that kind of stuff, but for whatever reason, for this show, they decided to not make it mature rated, make it like TV 14. Which someone like me, I'm kind of I guess queasy, or you might call me a prude.
Ron's the guy that he can't handle the real graphic stuff. And again, we're talking about violence, and this is why it's the Geektastic duo is kind of interesting, because whereas he's kind of, he doesn't have the stomach for, the graphic violence or that type of thing. I, on the other hand, welcome it.
Yeah.
That's an odd dynamic, but we could appreciate certain things. And, even then I had to show him some of the images because I wanted him to understand, hey, listen, what we're seeing for the TV show, it is a little bit toned down, but it doesn't sacrifice the story and the subject matter. Because, with the father dying, and they kind of show that really in the beginning is kind of tragic. Like, they're not from the story, they're not holding back some of the real deep stuff. And
the thing that I thought was great about the show is that the plot was strong and so were the characters. Because sometimes when you watch something, either the plot is kind of weak and the characters are good, or the other way around,
But the premise, right? The premise doesn't grab you, right? Doesn't this premise grab you? Like,
yes,
this house,
yes,
tied to the father in some way. We know there's some secrecy. We have the well, and we have like this, the person who was in the bottom of the well that opens everything up by communicating with Bodhi. Our one of our main protagonists. He's a young kid. He's really the kid.
He's my favorite character. He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's awesome. So you're seeing, where they're going and how they're taking certain things and playing with it. And then at the same time, you can see where they take a little bit of liberties with the TV show, as far as mixing up the keys when you find the keys and how that happens.
Yeah.
Overall,
I thought the beginning bit reminded me a lot of the Spiderwick Chronicles. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
Yeah, I do. I own that one. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it has that, like,
reminded me a lot of that.
Feel like this. Like it's a family. Like, the thing I like about Lock and Key, it has the guise of, hey, this is really family friendly on the surface, right? But then when you get into the show and the subject matter, and then it gets, and the creepy factor comes in, like,
it has a wide
situation. It kind of welcomes you in, but then it's like, hold on, because we're gonna get make things a little bit uneasy. We're gonna raise the stakes a little bit, and we're gonna turn on the creep factor.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I really liked it. I remember being excited for when are they gonna find a new key? What's the new key gonna do? I was really excited about finding the next key and seeing what it does.
Exactly. And here's the thing: there's a slew of keys out there, and you finished the first season, but I guarantee you that there's still a bunch of keys that you haven't seen yet, just from me reading the whole the graphic novel series. And honestly, when you read if you do, I don't know if you're going to read the graphic novels, but if you do, it's almost like you're kind of curious to see how they're gonna compartmentalize this for the show, because again, it's so what they have going on here, it's like a treasure trove of great ideas, and transitioning that into TV, it makes for great television. And like you said, you enjoy the characters, you enjoy the plot, the premise already, as you can see with the keys and doors, what powers you have. Like, they have this key, the anywhere key. If you've been there already, or you envision it or whatnot, well, I think you have to have been there.
No, I think on the show you have to have seen it with your eyes, either on TV or in a picture or something like that.
Yeah, and then you can kind of just put that key and you're there. Mm-hmm. So I think that one's interesting. Like Ron also said, the head key, where the memories.
That's my favorite key, because they did something on the show like, oh my gosh, if I could do that, I would be the smartest person in the world.
I'm wondering, I didn't get that far, and I'm wondering how close they kept that with the graphic novel. But the head key is cool, and and this is where I said like the show takes some liberties. I kind of like how he figures out how to utilize the head key, and it's like he takes a key to a shop, a locksmith or whatever.
Yeah,
and he's looking at it, he's like, wow, this is 18th century.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me look for this, right? And he kind of gets on his knees, and and you see the whole opening on like the base of
that actor was
the neck. That's Tom Savini. They talk about Tom Savini. That's Tom Savini. He's the special effects guy. He's acted in Dawn of the Dead. He's been cameos in a lot of these horror movies, but he's the guy they're talking about in the show. We're the Savini squad, because he's like the greatest special effects guy. Like literally, he was a G when it comes to special effects. And
I want you to say what you had said, that there's something that they changed in the first episode that kind of bugged you. What was that thing?
All right, so here's a spoiler alert. I mean, if you guys saw the first episode, you're here again. Like I said, I'm in on the show. One thing I didn't like is the anywhere key. Like, we have our character in the well, right? And she whispers to Bodhi, the echo, right?
Yeah.
And for me, how she quit, like how it just almost seems like she could come out of the well herself and just get the key. She like hints at Bodhi that he finds the key, and she kind of like tricks him into getting the key. But it almost seems so effortless, where I just wish, because if the graphic novel, it kind of teased it out a little bit. It's not like the first episode she gets to anywhere key and she's out. But after refreshing myself with the graphic novel, there's so much that happens, and there's so much that keeps you on the edge, where, what bothered me is that it seems so easy. It's almost like I thought like she couldn't get out from the well. And I thought maybe if you drop the key to her, like there's a way there would be like some kind of door there within the bottom of the well or something that it's almost like you could just pop right back up. It's almost like, well, they don't. I don't know if you finished the first season, if they explain if she was doomed to the well house where she can move within there but can't come out of the well house, and that's why she needed anywhere key. Like, they don't hint at that yet. Like in the graphic novel, they hint to that. That. But for me in the first episode, I don't know if in the first season, because you already saw everything, I don't know if they kind of allude to, she was stuck in the well house and she couldn't move from with the well house, or like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like she seemed like she had the freedom to move around. So it was just the way that happened so quick. I just
Well, I'll let you watch the rest of the show, and we'll do another full season.
Yeah, when I finish the season, since Ron already finished it, we'll do like another one where we'll really go out all with the spoilers. But there was another part that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I think it was in the second episode. Not rubbed me the wrong way. It's almost like we see the Echo. She gets the Anywhere key. She goes to Paris. She goes on a shopping spree. She's like in a museum, breaks, she steals some jewels or whatever. Okay, get it. We understand the key is very powerful. I'm cool with that. She goes to a club. Okay, it's a rave, and you're trying to, you're projecting this, the sexuality. You're dancing, boom, boom. Okay, we get it. She wants to get laid, right? So she sees this guy talking. Next thing you know, they're in the hotel. She's on top of him, straddled on top of him, and it's like she wants to get her jollies off. That they're gonna have a one night stand or whatever, and she's like, choke me. And the dude like puts his hand on her neck, and she's on top of him, whatever. And it's just kind of weird, and like he barely does anything, and she's like, and it almost like seemed like it took her out of the move to like even want to like continue, with the guy or whatever. And then she's like, let me show you, or let me do it. So then, she rolls him over, and then she starts choking him, and she kills him, I think. So for me, it was so odd. It's like, I know it's TV-14, but it just, I don't know. It was just odd, that part. Like I said, I don't mind you killing anybody. Like I said, I'm the guy that does that. I love the violence, right? I mean, I don't care about that, but it has to fit in some way. Like I just have to see it for like why. Like I get some people are twisted. I get whatever, but again, I haven't finished, the first season. I don't really, hint at anything more. But in the graphic novel, there's I don't know. It just seemed off to me. What were your thoughts on that?
I didn't really think about it that much. I thought it was a little graphic. Like, really, gonna choke this guy to death? But
like I said, I don't mind the choking, but like for me, it's just how it's like it's like sexual, right? Like, okay, choke me. I'm like, okay, it's like TV-14, but like if I have
it's a little much.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch that with my son or daughter if he's 14. Like, again, I don't know. That's maybe me being a dad. It's just like, again, I try to fit everything in narratively. Like, what's the justification? Like, I get we want to see the key. I get we want to understand how the key works. So we're seeing her go here, go there, go there. Like, I get that. But then we have this moment where, okay, if you want to kill someone, okay, I get it. But then again, maybe she wanted to get, she wanted to get her rocks off, and the dude didn't choke her enough, and she just got turned off, and she's like, okay, well, I lost my, sexual appetite. No, I'm going into my bloodlust mode right now and just killing them. So I guess whatever.
What did you think of the characters, like especially the main family characters? Because I can tell you, I liked the mom, I liked Bodhi, and I liked Kinsey. I thought the teenage son was a kind of a jerk, though.
Yeah. But that's to be expected. He's, he plays for the hockey team. He's, trying to impress this guy Javi that seems to be really cool and his other buddies. So yeah, I get that. I like Duncan's character. Duncan is uncle.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought he was cool. He brought some levity, and he was just a really fun character. I like the dynamic.
The Stevini squad was really cool too, I thought.
Though, excuse me. Yeah. That character, I don't remember him too much.
Scott.
Yeah, Scott. Yeah, I don't remember him too much. I don't think he was in the graphic novel, but he was a good. Now that I think about it,
was he in the graphic novel?
Yeah, they might have race swapped him. Now that I think about it.
Okay, there you go.
I think. I mean, I could be wrong. I'll gotta triple check. I get my books out. Triple check. I think there's a Scott Kavanaugh. If he's no, he was a Cavendish. His last name was Cavendish. So it could be that he's that character, and they introduce him really soon. Again, where if I'm thinking of his parallel in the graphic novel, it could be Scott Kavanaugh, and he comes like maybe towards the second and third trade. So I like the Savini squad. I thought it was cool, and I like how they show some real psychological trauma within the show. And I think it really hits the spot, and I think it was believable in how it was portrayed, especially when, she's trying to hang out and like there's some things they're in common, and then they're watching this horror movie and they're making this comment on like, oh, the chick that hides, or is she going to go in full glory, whatever. And she's like, sometimes, you have to be the chick that hides. You can't have your moment in a horror movie. Sometimes I love that.
Yeah, well, yeah, what happened with her.
Right, so that triggered something, like just that whole scene, or just watching that and then hearing them talk, like it just brought her back to that moment that she flipped out. Like I like that. Like they're doing great with the character development. So again, the show looks really good. I'm all in, and I love the graphic novel. I suggest if you guys are enjoying the show, and if you like Ron binge watch the first season, I definitely recommend getting the graphic novel. I just brought the first one here for you, just to see that I've got the hardcover ones. I just had to. And the Ghost Key is really cool. The Ghost Key.
Oh yeah, that was pretty.
They got it. Like I said, they got a lot of cool keys. Again, the artwork is really good. Gabriel Rodriguez, he's a talented artist. He has a certain style. There's the artwork is amazing, and there's real character. There's emotion, just the way it's drawn. Like there's real work that's been done there. And again, you'll see how they twist it around. But if you just can't wait and you just want to get the full story, read it because it's that good. And then see, I'm the kind of guy sometimes there's stuff that, you like what Ron said, you've read all the comics to it, or you read the book before. And Lock & Key, I was all over it. But if you're one person that you enjoyed the show and you're just kind of curious to see where it began and how it, was, jump into the graphic novels. That's just me.
Yeah.
It's almost like The Walking Dead when that TV show was really good, and people were like, wow, this was based on a comic, and then like comic sales were going up for The Walking Dead just because of the show, and people were reading it, and they're like, man, Glenn on the in the comic book wasn't as cool as like Glenn on the show, and next thing you know, Glenn in the comic book gets killed off pretty much because the TV show Glenn was just that much more of a likable and favorable character. So it's cool to see.
That's actually when I noped out of the show. I was like, I'm done.
Hey, sometimes a good character's got to die.
No, I get it, but like, dude, did you watch Walking Dead?
Yeah, that we could do a stream on that just for fun. But just real quick, there's a lot where I feel like should have went wrong way beforehand, and I'm thinking, man, for an apocalypse show, these guys just have the luck of the draw too long. Like Favor's fortune was on them way long. I think Negan was, he was in a real apocalypse. Let's put it that way. Rick's group wouldn't have lasted that long.
Okay.
Especially against Negan, it was overwhelming. But anyway, guys, do you have any more questions, Ron, about
No, I am good. I got to get up early tomorrow morning, so.
Well, definitely. So, we'll just leave it at that, guys. Definitely check out Lock & Key on Netflix. From a 1 to 10 as far as first episodes go, I have to give it an 8.5. I can't give it 10 right away. But it's great though. The graphic novel, I give that one a 10. But so far they're working it really good. The show has a lot of promise. And let us know in the comments if you've seen it, what you thought about it, if you're looking forward to it, if you like how it's compared to the graphic novel so far. Let us know your thoughts, and as always, just like and subscribe. It definitely helps out the channel.
All right. So that's gonna be it for today, right?
All right, guys. Later. Geek out.
Geek out.